Hi, I'm Andy, and this is Nick, and we're here with Petra Pointner. Petra, thank you for agreeing to sit with us.
My pleasure.
All right. Petra, you've done a lot with technology. I know you're last few years a big Twitter fan. You've widened out a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
Well, from talks and
Yes.
involvement. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, in the past couple of months I focused on how we can enhance our students' autonomy by using tools, by implementing more technology in the classroom or by making them use certain tech tools at home. And I've explored the use of Voxopop, for example, to enhance students' learner autonomy. For example, if you teach exam preparation classes, it's sometimes a problem that every single student has to do a long turn in their speaking test, in IELTS or CAE exams or CPE. And I found that it got really boring in class to give everybody their 2 or 3 minutes for their long turn to make them do the speaking test or practice the speaking test. So I've set up an account on Voxopop and recorded a task for them, and they could leave their answer by recording it at home, and I could then give them feedback, or the other students in their class could give them feedback. It's really easy to interact on Voxopop.
Excellent. We were talking before we started recording, and you were talking about that often teachers have difficulty in getting into technology or using these tools.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about what you've been looking at?
I think the difficulty is that a lot of teachers are not self-confident enough to start using the tech tools. I've done a number of workshops for teachers on Twitter, for example, and we spent 2 or 3 hours exploring how it works, and then I gave them some practical examples from my lessons. And I've often had the experience that after the workshop they came to me and said, well, this is brilliant, it's really interesting, but you know, I don't think I will have enough time to do this, and I don't really know how to use it with my students. I'm not sure we can do this. And I find it a bit sad sometimes that people say, I don't want to invest the time in using those tech tools, because it doesn't really take as much time as they think. If, for example, you want to teach with Twitter, or well, with Twitter you have to build up a network first, especially if you want to use it in the classroom as I do it.
What do you mean with building up a network?
Well, the buzzword these days is PLN, your personal learning network.
All right, what does that
mean? Well, it's basically the people that you connect with using social media, your colleagues or friends who help you to develop as a teacher. And I think it's vitally important that you have such a PLN, because you can then take advantage of it if you teach lessons. I've done that, for example, when I taught a lesson on presenting to international audiences in a business English class. And we had done about, I don't know, 150 minutes on the topic. And then I thought, you know, I know so many great people who are international presenters who've got so much experience in the field. I would like them to get involved in a lesson. So I asked my students to prepare a couple of questions for international presenters, and then I used Twitter to interview the people who were online, and we interacted with people like Simon Greenall or Nikki Hockley or Jeremy Harmer. It was a really great session for my students. But of course you can only do this if you have a network willing to help you.
Okay. And with network you don't mean a internet service provider. You mean your
the
circle
the people.
This personal learning network.
Yes.
So that works with basically you subscribe to what somebody writes.
Yes, exactly.
And they might subscribe to you, and you link up with a lot of people and
It's really easy, and this is why I also try to encourage my students to use Twitter, because based on your interests, you can very easily build up a network. Let's say, for example, I love scuba diving. And if I wanted to practice my English, talking about scuba diving, let's say, you have a search function on Twitter. I could just type in scuba diving, and I would see all of the most recent tweets of people who've mentioned that in their posts. and then I could read their tweets, maybe decide, oh, I want to follow this guy, he sounds interesting, and then interact.
This message
Exactly. Yeah,
writing.
it's an update that you post. It's very much like the updates that you post to your Facebook timeline as well.
Okay.
They're just a bit shorter.
Is there actually the kind of infrastructure there to support teachers who want to work in the classroom with technology? Is there kind of like most classrooms wireless connected or have good
good point.
connectivity?
Yes, well, that differs from school to school. I mean, I'm very lucky. I work at the University of Aachen, which is a university of technology, and we are very well endowed. I have a projector in my room and loudspeakers and everything I need. So I basically go into the classroom, hook up my computer to the projector, and then we do have wireless LAN in my university, but I also bring my UMTS stick to make sure I have internet connection. But I know that, for example, people who teach in companies often don't get access to the internet, or the companies they work with don't want them to use the internet connection available there.
Are there many things that are blocked, or are teachers having problems with sites blocked? How do kind of the administrations of like your school, for example, are they okay with students doing social networking and things like that?
Oh, I think so, because it's a university. Students are doing it anyway. They are on Facebook and on StudiVZ in Germany, for example, so I've never encountered any problems there. I've heard from colleagues from other countries that their school said, please don't interact on Facebook with your pupils or with your students. But nobody has ever...
in some schools it's actually, you know, YouTube, things like YouTube, Facebook are actually blocked.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm.
But that's not the case in Germany.
No, well, not at my university at least. I'm very lucky.
What would you recommend to a teacher who's just getting started with tech and maybe doesn't have those resources?
Okay.
So something that they could use
easily,
without maybe an internet connection.
Oh, without an internet connection. Well, there are a number of things that you can do without having to use the internet in the classroom.
Okay.
The tool that I just mentioned, VoxoPop, you can set up an account and tell students, my alias on VoxoPop is so-and-so.
Okay.
Please leave a message in the voice thread.
And you can download those audio files, is that it?
Yeah, I think that should be possible, yeah. And one tool that I really liked as well was Wall Wisher. It's an online notice board, and the teacher could basically just set up this notice board and post a question for the students so they could actually discuss a topic, but they would be very short messages. You can embed video or audio even, but short messages, and you can use that for self-reflection. My students, for example, they took a couple of weeks even. I asked them at the beginning of the semester, what are your personal learning targets? What do you want out of this course? How can I help you to reach your aims? And they took a couple of days, some of them even 2 or 3 weeks, to leave a message on that notice board. And we didn't need it in class, and it wasn't important that we had online access in class, but basically I just checked that notice board and then customized teaching materials for them.
Excellent.
So, yeah, that's also possible.
All right, so that's something, Wall Wisher, that you can do
Wall Wisher
without
is really
an internet
nice.
connection in the
Yes.
classroom.
Or, for example, I use Jing now, which is a screen capture technology.
Can you define what a screen capture technology?
Well, basically, screen capture means that you can make a video of what is going on your computer desktop.
And so a screenshot will take a picture, and screen capture takes a movie.
Exactly, it takes a movie of what you're doing on your computer. And you can use it for all kinds of things. For example, this semester I want to focus more on giving my students feedback on their pronunciation, because if you're involved in a lesson, somebody is talking about something and they're really excited, they want to get their message across, and you correct their pronunciation. Sometimes they're not listening properly. So what I do in class now is I make notes of the words that my students have mispronounced, and then I just set up a Word document where I write down the words with an example sentence, and I read it out for them in the proper pronunciation, and that Jing, this video that I would then produce, I could send them via email, because Jing gives you a URL where the video can be found online.
Okay,
and then
so
I
you're
could
not
just
sending a massive file.
no, no. It's basically it's somewhere on the internet, and students just need a link to open the file.
Fabulous.
Yeah, Russell Stannard's done a lot of work with
Exactly.
marking students' homework. and things
Exactly.
like
He
that.
gave me that idea at IATEFL last year. I got really excited when I went to his talk. I thought, oh God, I've got so many things I could do with that.
Yeah,
so
he used Camtasia, which is another
exactly,
screen capture
exactly.
software. Yeah,
And
very
all of the
interesting.
tools I've mentioned so far, they are for free, you know.
Excellent.
That's the good thing.
So Jing is J-I-N-G.
Yes,
and
J.
Wisher, you mentioned Twitter. And
Yes.
we have another one.
Voxopop.
Voxopop. Yeah, it's
Okay.
very good as well.
All right. Yeah. Petra, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, lots of ideas. I think, fabulous.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for watching. We'll be back in a few minutes with Alan Maley.